Recruiter here to review your resumes. The resume we have up first is a software engineer intern, and this intern has been applying tirelessly, is what they said, and have not received a single callback. So this intern gets 0 interviews. So this is a garbage resume. I want to let everybody know I do more than tech, but right now tech is in the dumpster, so like 90% of the resumes that are sent to me are tech. So what do we need for a software engineer intern? Well, the same thing we need for every other intern. Every single intern needs 3 things: degree, the ability to work well with others, take direction and criticism, and a basic, and I'm saying very basic, knowledge of and is whatever their industry is. So for a software engineer, that would be language, library, SQL, cloud, maybe just a little bit of AI, but not a ton, RESTful APIs, and that's pretty much it. Interns have a giant problem of just filling their resume with a lot of hot dogs, which I will cover in a bit. So, does this resume have too many hot dogs, or does it have enough hamburgers, which I will explain in about 2 to 3 minutes? Let's find out. Recruiters only have 20 seconds to find what we need. So, will I be able to find 75% of these? Well, actually, for interns, you kind of need all of that. In 20 seconds? No, because this gets 0 interviews, so I'm expecting to find almost nothing. So, 20 seconds on the clock, and go. Okay, degree, good. This doesn't matter. Developed a RAG chatbot using Python and OpenWiki, reducing... I don't care about that. This doesn't matter. This is irrelevant. This is irrelevant. Irrelevant. Okay. And then tutored 7 students in C++. Time! Yeah. You know what I don't see? I don't see a basic knowledge of the tech stack. I saw Python and I saw a 1AI thing, but where's SQL? Where's your libraries? Where's the cloud? Where's RESTful API? I don't know. I didn't see it. Oh, look, it's right here. But the rest of your resume was so junk that I couldn't even get that far down. So I didn't even see it because I thought the rest of this sentence was garbage. But no, you actually had it buried deep down here. This is something I would want. But again, because the rest of the resume was so bad, my eyes glossed over it. You know what I don't see? The ability to work well with others or take direction and criticism. This actually is a pretty good sentence. It just, again, I ran out of time. Tutored 7 students in C++ and Python. Good, that's basic. And it shows that you can work well with others by tutoring them. Developing customized lessons plans based on individual skill gaps and data structures, algorithm debugging. That is a phenomenal sentence that I did not read because it was too far down. In fact, this right here is why you got this internship, is because this is a great green flag in a resume. So the problem with this resume is too many hot dogs, not enough hamburgers, and I'm about to explain what I actually mean by that. I want you to imagine that you are hungry and you go to a restaurant and you say, I would like a cheeseburger with pickles and onions. And they say, cheeseburger, pickles, onions. You say, yes, cheeseburger, pickles, and onions. So they go back to the kitchen and they bring you back a hot dog with cheese, pickles, and onions. And they say, here is your hot dog. And you went, excuse me, I wanted a cheeseburger with pickles and onions. This is a hot dog with cheese, pickles, and onions. And they say, no, this is what you wanted, because a hot dog has cheese just like a hamburger. A hot dog has meat just like a hamburger. A hot dog has buns just like a hamburger. And a hot dog can in fact have pickles and onions, pickles and whatever the other thing I said, just like a hamburger. And so when you said you wanted a cheeseburger with pickles and onions, this is what you meant. You would look at them like they were trying to gaslight you, and you would walk away without paying because that is not what you wanted. That is not what you ordered. That is the exact problem that this resume has, is it is filled to the brim with hot dogs. Python, hamburger. LangChain or OpenAI, could be a cheeseburger. That could be a hamburger. I can count that. But internal query wiki pages reducing document lookup time by 60%, 300 to blah, 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 blah. That's irrelevant. Solve multimodal extraction challenges, hot dog. With crawl for AI, hot dog. And DOSling, hot dog. Design end-to-end scripting and embedded in a pipeline team, hot dog. Implemented in retrieval pipeline using LangChain. You already mentioned LangChain earlier, so you don't need to mention it again. Embedded over NeonDB, hot dog. And when you find too many hot dogs, you're going to leave the restaurant. Then I'm not even going to get to the hamburgers that are down here. C++, Python, hamburgers. This sentence alone, the one I highlighted in green, does show the ability to work well with others, does show a very basic knowledge of the tech stack. That is a sentence that I want. I want more of your sentences like this and not whatever this is. And that's a real common problem is software engineers will get their first internship and then completely change the flow and structure of their resume because this is now impressive and I'm going to impress them. I'm not going to be impressed. No one's going to be impressed. Not a single person is impressed. No one has the chance to be impressed at a resume. It's not how it works. So what I want you to do is delete this whole resume except for this bullet point down here. I really like it. Keep this. And I want you to restructure it and make it look like this. This is the formatting you want to use. And the entire purpose of the formatting is so I can get further down because if you noticed, I didn't even fully finish all of these sentences. And this is how you do it. The link is in the description below. But I want you to go back and I want you to remake these sentences. I want you to show me RESTful API. I want to see a library. I want to see SQL. If you have cloud, put cloud. Not all internships have cloud. That's okay. I want to see that you can take direction and criticism. And I want you to write them in qualification format. So you cannot write your bullet points randomly. Let me describe this. So recruiters are looking for qualifications, not keywords. And a qualification is a keyword, which is something the hiring team needs, plus how you used it and the non-technical reason that you used it and where you used it. If it's not what, how, where, business reasons, which is the non-technical reasons, it does not count as a qualification, not counting years of experience and degrees, and thus it cannot be used. So I don't care that you did a 60% by 25 by 353. Those are nonsense numbers. Software engineers do not want numbers on their resume besides dates of employment and their phone number. There's you're again when you graduated. You do not want numbers on your resume. It's not good. Everybody's trying to say, I need to show my... No, nobody cares. Nobody cares. I'm not being mean. I'm saying nobody cares about your numbers. The only number that a software engineer would want in a bullet point is leadership experience. So you could say the teams you led. So like tutored 7 students. So in this case, I don't think it's relevant because the important part is not that you tutored 7. It's the important part that you taught others. So you actually don't need the 7 in this. But like if you led a team of 5, that would be something. The only other one is the scale of the product in the number of users and only the number of users. Otherwise, it doesn't matter. So stop putting random numbers in your resume. It makes it worse. Everybody is incorrect or lying to you when they say you need to show those numbers. Those numbers are bad. All right? Your resume is bad. I don't say that to be mean. I say that so that you can get a job and feed your family. So to summarize, this resume has way too many hot dogs, does not have enough hamburgers, the formatting is awful, and they don't even write the bullet points in the how, what, reason, result format that you need to actually get an interview. So, and again, remember, this gets 0 interviews because they changed it after this, and nobody's able to go back down here because this is written well. I really like this. So that's all I can do for this resume. Before we go to the next one, I just want to thank my members who get access to videos a little bit early. Thank you very much for supporting me. If anybody wants to join, they can join in the link below. And thank you all for watching, liking, commenting. And if you ever need help on your resume, you can join my live stream. That is where I review these every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST on twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter and also right here at YouTube. So let's go to the next resume. This is another intern, except this is a product manager intern. They stated they get about a 1 in 75, which is not a pass, but it's not the worst. Your goal should be 1 to 50 minimum. So if they're only getting a 1 in 75, this is like a D resume, right? Like it does fail, but it's not an incredible failure. There's probably a lot of stuff that is good about this, just not quite enough good. They said they're a rising junior. What is this, an astrological sign? Is this a rising junior of a Gemini? Looking for a career in PM in Fang, fingers crossed. I've gotten people jobs in Fang before with my advice. So what do we need for a product manager? Intern. So again, degree, ability to work well with others, take direction, criticism. But here's where it differs from a software engineer intern. Work cross-functionally, explain complex topics to non-technical people, product tech, so just like work in the tech that you're for. So like cloud, AI, that kind of stuff. It's going to change a little bit depending on what you're going for. The industry, are you in healthcare? Are you in finance? Are you in something else that's not healthcare and finance? And then fast moving environment and leadership. So this is where I actually want some numbers. Leadership requires a little bit of numbers typically. Can I find what I need in 20 seconds? Probably no, but barely. So 20 seconds on the clock and go. Okay, formatting is awful. Led end-to-end product development, translating user needs into prioritized features. Like that, this is too technical. Partner with engineers and designers, deliver product features, feasibility, ensuring, again, you described it poorly, but the first part is good. Define product metrics, user data, guide roadmap decisions, and time. Yeah, like you have some of this stuff, right? Like it's just, it's so wordy. Like you see, I don't think I would really consider these even like hot dogs. You have the right idea. Like led to end-to-end product development is what I would like to see. Translating user needs into prioritized features. Cool. That shows that you can work with the product tech and you can, actually explain like and translate user requirements, which is great. But then you lose me of PRDs and iterative releases while balancing technical and temporal layoffs. Are you a time traveler? Did you balance the technical and time travel paradoxes? Is this what's happening? I don't know. This is too technical. Also, this formatting is awful. This is what is good. This is really, really hard to read. Because if you notice, I only got down to here. Like, if you use this format, I could probably go down to here. That's usually where it is, which gives you more time. So I like the idea of these, and I actually think you wrote some of these right, but your explanations of the business reasons are too technical. You cannot have your resume be technical. This is not a solution that you fix by being more technical. You need to do the reverse. I need you to treat the people reading your resume as the people that you're translating user needs to. And I know you've done it. You describe it right here. If you went to the people that you translated those needs and you said, we're doing this in features, PRDs, and iterative release while balancing technical and temporal trade-offs, balancing technical feasibility, UX, business impact, cohesive teams, they would look at you like, but no, that's not how you write it. I need you to write this like you write to them because it shows you can do it. I just need more. I don't think I actually need the ability to work with others. I think you can prove that through these internships. But I do want direction and criticism a little bit. Just a little bit that you can take direction. Because remember, your job is to be a lead, but your job is also to learn. So I want you to go back and I want you to fix your formatting and then make these bullet points easier to understand with just a little bit more of this. And you should be good because again, this is like a D resume, right? It barely fails, but it does fail. So it's not like you're going to need to do a ton of stuff to fix it. Like completed a 300-hour. Why do I care that you completed a 300-hour? I don't care that you learned. I care that you did. That is something you don't want to show in your resume, even for interns. Is how you learned. No one cares how you learned. They care what you did. And also, nothing in here is relevant anyway to what I'd be looking for. And it's in the future. You are a time traveler. This is May 6th when I'm recording this, and you've been there until August 2026. Are you a time traveler? It sounds like you are. I think you're a time traveler. Applied clean code principles. No one cares about that. Develop multi-end software projects in a team-based environment, applying object-oriented version control, get agile development practices. I like the team environment, but again, you're not a software engineer. You're a product manager. This part is actually a good start to it, but the rest is junk. I don't even know if you need anything here. Manage lab readings, increased attendance retention. No, just say increased attendance retention and tell me how you did it. You need to tell me how you did it. So again, make those changes, make it clearer, remove the junk, and you should start getting more interviews because the core is good. You just need to Stop making me dig for the thing that I want. Next resume. This is a full stack software engineer, and what we need for a full stack software engineer is degree, TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS. If you do not have TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS in the first line of your first bullet point, you are probably going to be rejected. But Lee, obviously, blah, blah, blah implies blah, blah, blah. No, nothing implies nothing. You can never, ever imply anything in your resume. If it is not directly stated, it is assumed that you do not have it. So, RESTful or REST APIs, SQL, cloud, any of the clouds is fine. Any of the SQLs is fine. Backend, we just want a little bit. And sometimes you can replace the TypeScript with backend, but you really, really want TypeScript. React, React.js, Angular, Node.js, Vue.js, DevOps, CI/CD, Agile, Git, and the other stuff for extra credit. But extra credit is fine to not have. So, this person's ratio is unknown. They stated, I'm a final year CS student graduating in June with internship experience in front end. I'm pivoting to back end software engineering roles because I enjoy databases. I have an internship lined up at a major tech company working as a back-end developer with Python. This will be my first pure back-end experience on a CV. Right now, I'm applying to both back-end and general software engineer roles. I don't have a strong preference, so I'm starting hard to pick a single focus. You don't need to pick a single focus. Just have 3 resumes, right? 1 for full stack, 1 for front end, 1 for back end. And then whichever one you see, you send that resume out. Any advice on how to position myself? Yeah, multiple resumes. Also, in my country, almost everyone speaks English, and most tech job descriptions are written in English. Should I apply with an English resume, my native language, or keep 2 versions and tailor to the job? Ooh, that is a question that I don't think I can answer, unfortunately. I am a US-based recruiter, and I've gotten people jobs all over the world, but my advice does not translate 1-to-1. It's like 90% effective, and that is the 10% that I don't know. So unfortunately, I actually just don't know the answer of if you should keep it in English or put it in the native version of your language. My guess would be just to have an additional resume of each of them and one in your native language and one in English, and then whatever the job description is in, send that one. But that may be incorrect, unfortunately. So 20 seconds on the clock. Can I find what I need to find? And go. Bachelor's, good. Coursework, irrelevant. Deployed product features of an AI-powered SEO platform, good. And Next.js, good. TypeScript and PostgreSQL by building React components. And this should be another bullet point. This should be 3 bullet points. But also that doesn't matter. Set up a CD pipeline with GitHub Actions. It's good. It's not bad. A time. So your formatting's bad. And I want JavaScript, HTML, CSS. You need JavaScript, HTML, CSS. If you, you already have TypeScript. So I actually really like how you wrote these sentences. You just need an additional sentence, right? One additional sentence. And then the first one needs to have TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS. I'm not joking. It needs to have that. And then the second sentence can have the rest of it. But you actually covered most of the other stuff. And then fix your formatting. And then I don't care about bundle size. Yeah, this doesn't matter. This is not relevant. But yeah, I want to like, this is how you write a sentence. I actually really like this. You need another one because you want 3 keywords minimum per bullet point. 3 keywords minimum, 6 maximum. But I will say you just need to add one more keyword to this, but I really like how you described it, right? Like set up CI/CD pipelines that automatically run listings, building on every pull request, preventing broken code from reaching the main branch and decreasing manual review time. That is the business reason why you did it. That is a good sentence. I just need a little bit more. So again, this is not an awful resume. You're just missing a couple of basic things and your formatting is awful. But again, formatting is like 30% of your grade. You can get a job and an interview with terrible formatting. It is possible. It hurts your chances, but it doesn't make them 0. But you should still use this formatting. So make those changes, add that stuff, and you should be fine. It's actually pretty well. Next resume. This is another intern. This person has stated, I am a software engineer intern in New York City. I have a poor time finding internships, CPT F1 visa. Your visa doesn't typically matter for interns as long as you're legally authorized to work in the country. I don't think I've ever seen anybody get rejected based on the visa. I mean, I'm sure there's some, but I actually don't think your visa is affecting your chances for this. Now, once you graduate, that will be the toughest job search of your life, bar none. Because A, you're entry level, and B, you're on a visa, and that will be a nightmare. So, we need the same stuff: degree, work with others, direction, criticism, basic tech knowledge. So, let's see what you have. The fact that you have a terrible ratio means it's probably a bad resume. So, 20 seconds on the clock, and go. Okay, degree, expected graduation. This is hurting my eyes to read. Generative AI intern. Okay, collaborated within a team of 6, contributing to, who cares? Implemented backend API, doesn't matter. Built, tested, doesn't matter. And why? Okay, time. So quick note before I forget, projects, not interns. Projects, you don't need to tell me when you did them. Projects are projects. They can be, you set the timeline. The actual timing of this doesn't matter. You could take 10 months, you could take 1 week, whatever. So you don't need dates of employment for projects. You do for internships. The second is, why does your first internship have nothing to do with this intern that I'm looking for? I don't see anything about software engineering. I see a generative AI stuff, but this is not software engineer. I don't see any basic coding. I don't see that you can work well with others. I don't see you can take direction and criticism, because collaborated within a 6 of team means nothing. You need to describe how you did it. You can't just say, I collaborated. No, you have to say, worked with a team of 6, right? Where we met weekly, went over each other's code, troubleshot each other's things, and did X and Y. Agile's fine. But the bigger problem with this is there's no tech stack. And then we go down to here and developed and customized a full stack application using, here we go, finally first time, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React, and Vite. Why do I care about Vite? For a car company, that part is fine. But no one's going to go all the way down here. And again, I don't see that you can work well with others. I don't see that you can take direction and criticism. And your formatting is awful. So I need you to make your formatting like this. I need you to write actual bullet points that are relevant, because this is why you're struggling. There's like nothing here that I would be able to use forward until all the way down here. And no one's going to go all the way down here for a software engineer intern with this bad of a formatting. That's not going to happen. All right. It's just not. This is a bird. I made a little bird man with teeth. I'm getting distracted. There's not much else I can say on this resume. There's nothing here. This is almost entirely blank. Fix their formatting, make it look like this, add actual bullet points. Next resume. This is another intern. That just worked out for interns. All right, so this person gets a 1 in 100 ratio is what they said. I'm a final year software engineer student seeking an internship in Malaysia. I'm looking for opportunities in software engineering and IoT. I've expelled to several companies, but mostly rejections and ghosting. All right. Well, let's find out how we do. So 20 seconds is on the clock. We know what we need for this, and go. This doesn't matter. This is confusing me, but maybe that's expected. Built in IoT. What is that? Why does that matter? Using doesn't matter. C++ might. Aquarium temperature. Okay. Built a React mobile dashboard. Okay, good. Why does this matter? Developed a time. Your formatting is awful. You actually have some of the stuff in the bullet points, but this is a nightmare, bro. Also, why is your project 4, 5, 6? Is this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Why is your project 7 bullet points? It should be 3 maximum. 3 bullet points maximum. And then some of this stuff I just don't care. Like, why does that matter? It doesn't. Why does this matter? It doesn't. Why does that matter? It doesn't. Like, again, if you're applying to an IoT one, sure, because that's going to be different. Also, this doesn't count. Remember, you have to show me in the bullet points. The problem is if I'm going for a software engineer, none of this stuff is related. That's already 3 bullet points you can take out. Developed an inventive and embedded on TypeScript. There's so much. This is 2 resumes crunched into one. This is why you're having problems, is you're trying to apply to both these roles with the same resume. And an embedded intern, which I think this is going to require very, very different qualifications than a software engineer. So I'm going to need you to split this into 2 resumes. And fix your formatting. This is a nightmare. I can barely read any of this. There's so much here. It's like digging through so much junk. And the thing is, you have some okay sentence parts. It's just, man, I cannot even find them half the time. Like, also, where is it that you can work together with a team? Where is it that you could take direction and criticism? I don't know. And then what are these random numbers? Maybe this makes sense in your area. That's fine. I'm not gonna. Maybe this will make sense and they'll know it, but I don't know what that is. I don't know if this is relevant or not. But you have the GPA over here, so I don't know what this is. But yeah, this is bad. You need to delete this and start again and then make it into 2 resumes. Less is more. The less chaotic your resume, the better. White space is good. That way it's easier to read, but that is a nightmare to read, and that's all I can do for it is just there's so much there. It needs to be 2 resumes. So that's all I can do for this video. Thank you very much for watching, liking, commenting, subscribing. And thank you to my members for supporting me. If you want to join, you can join in the link below. They get access to videos a little bit early, but thank you very much again. And if you ever need more help, you can join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST on twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter, right here on YouTube and Twitch. And yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Later.